I call the regular meeting of the Milliken Board of Trustees for June 26, 2024 to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Will the acting town clerk please call roll?
Yes, Mayor. Trustee Beckman? Here. Trustee Lane?
Here.
Trustee Nix?
Here.
Trustee Orcutt?
Here.
Trustee Wakeman?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean?
Here.
And Mayor Austin.
Here. Does anyone have any additions or deletions to the agenda? Hearing none, I'll take a motion.
I just wanted to add that we did place a new resolution and agenda memo. The only changes on these was the authorization. I think on one, and it said town administrator, and then the other said mayor. We made them both mayor. Okay. So that's the only changes that were made on the add agenda item.
Okay. So there is a change to the action item on the agenda.
I move that we accept the agenda with amendment as proposed.
Second.
Town clerk, acting town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Lane?
Yes.
Trustee Orcutt?
Yes.
Trustee Nix?
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman?
Yes.
Trustee Beckman?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean?
Yes.
And Mayor Austin.
Yes. Alrighty, do we have any citizens' comment tonight? Anybody want to address the board? Nope, we'll skip right over that. There is a paid list of bills. Do board members have any questions on the paid list of bills? Looks good to everybody. All right, we'll move on to the meeting minutes. Is there any discussion or comments on the meeting minutes of June 12th, 2024? I'll take a motion.
I move to approve the minutes.
Second.
Acting town clerk, please call for a vote.
Yes, sorry. Trustee Orcutt?
Yes.
Trustee Nix?
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman?
Yes.
Trustee Beckman?
Yes.
Trustee Lane?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean?
Yes.
And Mayor Austin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Next up is the town administrator's report. Administrator Powell.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So attended the Colorado Municipal League annual conference in Loveland Wednesday through Friday morning last week. It was really nice having it close by so we could do that, and more people were able to attend. Some good seminars that I went to on that. Also, I spoke with Evan Pinkham and members of VIA Mobility on Friday, June 21st. It sounds like VIA has additional funds available for 2024. We will be meeting again tomorrow morning to see if they would be able to or willing to include Milliken for the remainder of this year to get us in the cycle. So I think that would be really great. And then when they go out for their next grant cycle, we can just be included with them. So
That's great. Thanks, Cheryl.
yeah, so I'll let you know what happens there. John Rabus and Kyle Byerline from our Water Wastewater Department presented our grant application this morning to the Department of Local Affairs Board. This was done in Montrose, so a good 7-hour drive. They did go up last night, so they didn't have to drive all night and be there by 11 o'clock this morning. This is on the alluvial well blending project, so fingers crossed that they come through for us like they have in the past. Our Parks Department has been busy mowing, repairing irrigation of all sorts, whether it's heads or lines or main areas of irrigation, installing mulch and pulling our famous weeds everywhere that grow in town. So they've done a great job, I think, keeping everything looking nice as best as they can. I mean, you can't keep up with all the weeds, but they're doing a good job. Streets Department has installed the culvert on County Road 25, so that's done. They replaced an old culvert that was there. The Cape Seal project is complete for this year. The seal has been placed on County Road 46, and the double chip will be placed on this road on Saturday and fogged on Monday. This project was delayed due to equipment problems with the contractor. They had 2 machines that they were using on this, our project and other projects. One of the machines went down, so they're trying to keep all their projects in order and had just one machine to do this with. So anyway, it was delayed. Hopefully it will still turn out well. Fingers crossed on that as well. And that's all I have, unless you have any questions.
Any questions from the board?
The road going to be closed again in between the
Yeah,
processes?
so they'll have to close
Right.
it on Saturday in order to do that. I don't think people want to drive down a road that just received chip
Good
unless
luck.
they want their car messed up.
I've got a question about the chip sealing. They did some areas, I mean, like partial streets and stuff.
Mhm, the
Are they
Cape
coming back
sealing.
to do more, or is that done for this year?
That's done for this year.
Okay,
The Cape sealing, yeah.
okay. All right.
Yep, they picked the worst areas, and so we'll just, there's plenty more. But we only have so much in our budget.
I see.
And so, he's got an ongoing list.
Okay. So they'll finish up some of the neighborhoods they kind of started, like up.
Well, they
like up on
probably
Mad Russian and-
did the worst part of a road,
Okay. Okay.
so,
All right.
yeah. I know
Okay.
it looks like it's an old road and then looks relatively new and then an old road again, but that area that looks new probably was in pretty bad shape and they wanted to catch it before it got worse.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions?
Everything on schedule with the pump house project?
So far, yes.
No challenges?
Don,
Specific.
anything? And thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, I mean, it's come a long way. There's other areas that we have to do the controls for the building and everything for the pump itself. It's not going to be done until later this year, maybe even going into next year. Part of it is waiting on Excel. They haven't even met with them out there yet. And even though meeting with us on County Road 23 3/4, it was still 5.5 months out. So, and they have yet to meet with us for Berwick Lake pump stations. But yes, a good portion of it has been complete. It's just going to be more of the electronics, I believe, at this point in time.
The actual construction side of it, though, it's on schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're actually a little bit further ahead than I thought they would be.
Okay.
The construction should be done by the end of July is where it's slated now. But we'll still have Excel controls, the well that'll supply it, and then we did a test on the other well today that didn't go well. So it's going to have to be pump pulled and evaluated. But
Is that the Watson well?
yeah, Watson well. But the actual construction is going well.
When will they be able to fill will we fill it this year?
Yeah, we're hoping by the end of July we can start putting water in. They've got to get the piping in, get the valves in so that they can isolate the structure, and then we can get water in there. We want to get water in as soon as we can. Obviously, for everybody there is an amenity, but we also, for water rights, need to get water in there so that we have that recharge credit.
Great, thank you. Any other questions? All right, nice report, Cheryl. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Nothing on the consent agenda, so we have one item on the action agenda, approval of resolution number 24-17, a resolution of the Town of Milliken Board of Trustees regarding construction of sidewalks and ADA compliant ramps project, and an approval of project. We'll leave it there. And presenting is Cheryl Powell, Town Administrator.
Okay, thank you. Actually, this would have been John Rabus, but he's not here. But I think you all are aware of this project. Last year we applied for Safe Routes to School grant, and we were denied that grant funding. And we quickly turned it around and applied for a transportation alternative grant. And so we got it. In order to install sidewalks where there aren't sidewalks, such as around the middle school, down Forest. This grant funding, I think it was like $802,000, will help us get those projects complete. On top of that, I did mention to our streets director to stay in touch with the school district, because if there's areas that they're intending on tearing up or doing anything different, if they do go forth and make that in elementary school, we don't want to have new sidewalks torn up if not necessary. So I'm sure that they'll work well with the school district in order to, we might have to do a little adjustment here or there on it, but I think that should be fine.
Discussion from the board. Trustee Wakeman?
No questions.
Trustee Lane?
I have no questions.
Trustee Nix?
No questions.
Trustee Beckman?
No questions.
Trustee Orcott?
No questions.
Trustee Mayor Pro Tem Dean?
No questions.
All right, it looks like we don't have any questions. I think we've discussed this prior. Very exciting, so I'll take a motion on the matter.
I move to adopt Resolution 24-17, supporting the Milliken C.IGA and authorize the mayor to execute on behalf of the town.
Second.
Acting Town Clerk, please take a vote.
Trustee Nix?
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman?
Yes.
Trustee Beckman? Yes. Trustee Lane?
Yes.
Trustee Orcutt?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean?
Yes.
And Mayor Austin?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Great. That concludes the major portion of our business. The rest are written reports, except for the discussion agenda, where the board members will give a short report on some of the sessions that they attended, starting with, and we'll just run down through a list of them for commentary. There was a pre-session on municipal finance and budgeting for elected officials. I attended that one, found it to be very helpful in talking about sales tax income and how much looks like we'll have sustained online purchasing, which absolutely benefits the town of Milliken, since we don't have many businesses in town. When you purchase online, we get the sales tax revenue. So I thought that was highly beneficial. I don't think anybody else here took that class, did they? Okay. Any comments on the next class, which was, I think, anybody else attend anything the rest of that day?
Effective governance?
Oh, there it is. Okay. For those who attended effective governance, any comments?
Well, it was mainly just a good reminder, just what your responsibilities are as a member of the town board versus just a citizen.
Mm-hmm.
It's just always good to just get a refresher on those, just the differences.
Yeah, I'll piggyback it. It was a good reminder, and part of it too was we don't meddle in staffing issues, and I thought that was really important. That's Cheryl's job, not the board. And if somebody from the community comes up to you and says, "I want this person fired," you email Cheryl.
There we go.
I'm washing my hands from it. No liability is good liability.
Good job. Okay. Any other comments on effective governance? Okay, there was an open session the next day, a story of perseverance and hope, sponsored by CIRSA. Did anybody attend that?
That was good.
Okay.
The general session?
Yes.
Yeah, that's one that I was really enjoyed. And Justin Forsett gave it. He's former Bronco. And a couple of takeaways was we all have our controllables that we can take charge of. And they included attitude, preparation, character, integrity, and ethics. A lot of things we can't control, but those we can, and it's important. The other thing that came out of that for me is, and as I said earlier, as a former Rotarian, one of the things is service above self, And we're really here to serve the community and serve the public. And
I think he said if you're too big to serve, you're too little to lead, or something
yes,
like that.
Yeah, that's
you're
a
too
real
big to
good
serve,
saying.
you're too little to lead.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, okay. Any other comments on that session?
Like you might be ready, but you might not be prepared.
Got it.
Was he the same one that said, don't let anybody put you in a box?
Yes.
Yes.
And I think that was important also.
Yeah, boxes are for things, not people.
That's
For
right.
people, yep.
TIF markets, was that a session somebody signed up for? Because I heard, but nobody went to that one? Okay, we'll skip over that. So I went to the culture of cyber awareness, which we discussed heavily in our work session. Very good session, reminding us to be ever vigilant. Government entities are in the top 3 for attacks and ransomware. And it can take anywhere from 3 to 18 months to recover if somebody holds your system hostage. So we are going to be looking at in our next budget session to see if we agree on some testing of our systems and things like that, if we can work that into our budget. So good work session discussion. Anybody have any comments on that, even though they did attend?
I attended that.
You attended that with me, yes.
And I liked some of his motivating aspects of days off for people who don't click.
Yeah. Don't click on those phishing emails. Yeah, the email is the most vulnerable, and we need to ensure that we're not clicking on suspicious emails. So, good job. And then several attended building consensus for affordable housing in a small town. Thoughts on that one? Affordable housing is not affordable.
Consensus on unaffordable housing for a small town was what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a kind of a stark reminder of just how inflated the market is in Colorado, honestly, how expensive it is to live here. And unfortunately pricing a lot of people out, even with affordable tag is the tagline for a home. So that's one of those things you can't put in a box. You know, different towns have different needs and different prices. But
I think the definition of affordable is too vague.
it's very vague.
Agreed. Any other comments? Okay. There was the Welcome Lunch and Sam Mehmet Awards. Trustee Lane.
Yeah, they had a guest speaker there. I'll just read. Her name was Heather Younger, founder and CEO of Employee Fanatics. We'll discuss how cities and towns can create workplaces where everyone feels heard, seen, and respected. Her session, The Art of Active Listening, will reveal how to strengthen some relationships so team members feel supported. And it was also great for marriages too, I'll just add.
Okay. Then there was, and stop me if I skip anybody, there's What's New at DOLA, and I believe there was a consensus that there was nothing new.
Well,
Administrator Powell?
they spoke a lot about affordable housing, so I think that's what they're focusing on right now.
Okay. A couple people went to demystifying the role of municipal attorney. Have you been demystified? Can somebody let me know? I did not attend that one.
Yeah, I don't respect Matt as much anymore. But I'm kidding. It was a great, yeah, we're on the record here, aren't we? Yeah, it was a great,
Of all the years for me to not make it.
no, I know. It was a good session. A lot of it was basically don't say stupid stuff and keep yourself out of hot water. And don't listen to outside counsel. Everybody has their own agenda. The only person that's on your side is your municipal attorney working for you, which is the Matt,
Also-
Mindy, you have anything?
Well, I can
I
add
don't-
something
yeah.
really quick.
Oh, were you on that too?
But it really made it clear that a municipal attorney, his client is the municipality, not individual board members, but his client is the town. And that was really good. And I think we've got probably a really good one here in Milliken, I think. I think that we all appreciate more what you do, just listening to that presentation.
Well, thank you, I appreciate that, and don't forget, there are at least 3 of us at any given time, so, working on different things, but thank you, appreciate that.
Did you have anything to add, Trustee Wakeman?
No, not specifically. There's a little bit of kind of panel discussion between 3 different attorneys and their perspective.
Okay.
And just an idea of, what they're looking at.
Okay. Anybody attend the mobile tour of Loveland?
I did.
And how was that?
Went to the sculpture garden, or what it's with the Benson. Is it Benson?
Yeah.
Benson, yeah.
Yeah, and I hadn't been there in years, and it's really something to see. I think that people come from all over the country to that event there that happens to be the same weekend that we have our Beef and Bean Day. It's Saturday and Sunday, and we're so close that no one should have an excuse not to at least go there and just walk through it. It's pretty amazing. Yeah.
This is the sculpture behind things.
No, that's the, thank you. I wasn't going to butcher that.
Yeah, that's a different one. But this one is, north of the lake, north of.
Yeah, there's a little train, and it costs like $1. You can take your kid on.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many did the 5K run at 7 a.m.?
Did you do it this year?
None?
No, I didn't. I was going to, but I didn't.
Me too, Dan.
Yeah.
Didn't do it.
I did pickleball the night before. I did the pickleball.
Did you win?
No,
Yeah.
no, the pickleball session.
Oh,
Oh, you did?
session.
Oh, about,
And how'd that go?
Actually, it was kind of interesting, because, you probably already know it, but the big issue is noise.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I would think it was like
Really?
injuries.
Anger.
No, it's a land use issue around noise.
Really?
Yeah.
just
that's
the
interesting.
sound of the ball
Yes. Well,
Because it's a hard plastic ball, right?
It's a wiffle ball,
Okay.
basically.
But people are yelling at each other.
Well, but it's such a short
Fights
court
break out.
that it's constant.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And the decibel levels, and they say, I think they said never closer than 350 feet, and really to be safe, 600 feet from residential.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess we won't be installing any pickleball courts soon.
Well, now wait a minute.
That's not true.
I mean,
TRPR is putting
people were
in.
doing them in their backyards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I don't
There's
know
a-
about
gaining
here,
a
but
lot of popularity.
Yeah, there's a lot of,
yeah.
Like
There's a-
cornhole.
there's a lot of, like apartments that are turning their tennis courts into pickleball
Yeah,
courts,
yeah.
because it's like, who plays tennis?
Well, that
you
would
know, so-
echo through the whole place,
yeah.
because they're
It would.
right
Oh,
on
yeah.
top,
Yeah.
that'd be
That's
loud,
good.
I
I
would
didn't know
think.
you
Oh,
attended
yeah,
that one.
that's interesting.
All right,
I
so
thought you played.
the general,
I wish.
general session, the art of caring leadership, did somebody attend that? No? Okay.
Oh, that was one, we did.
Oh,
Brian and Dan and I did.
Yeah,
Oh.
it sounded familiar, yeah, there it is. Well, that was a general session.
Wasn't it?
With
Jen-
Heather Younger again,
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that same lady, yes,
all right.
on listening. And I thought she gave some good tips. I think I didn't put them in my iPad, but some written notes on tips on how to listen more directly.
Any other comments? No? Okay. Legislative update. I did attend that one. They ran through very quickly all the legislative updates and things that have been passed, so didn't spend enough time, though, on the AUDs and those things that we really wanted to know about. But any comments on the legislative session? Anybody attend Navigating Homelessness? Next one was Preserving the Heritage of Your Community. We had several attend that. Comments?
They were very informative. The ladies that were presenting are excited to go to towns and answer any questions that you might have and help you through the processes of applying for grants, what grants you can get. They talked about the age of the buildings, and the age of the buildings is quite young, 50 years for the National Registry and 30 years for the State Registry. Those are considered historic buildings. So it's just, I know, it
30
blows
years
my
isn't
mind,
that long.
30 years, right?
Yeah.
My house, yeah. Yeah.
Right? But
Yeah.
Milliken has a lot of historical buildings. We have a lot of older buildings, and I wonder if the owners of those buildings know about the funding that's out there. And it has to be met, so it's, the owner meets the grant, right? Half and half, but, the monies are there. It was really good.
Yeah, we talked about that it might be nice to invite these gals to, and then invite any owners with some of our older buildings for a talk in town, and just so people would be aware of what's available.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. All right. Other than that, did anybody attend anything else that afternoon? Looking through.
I did the business meeting.
And how did that go?
Oh, it was thrilling elections of board members.
Okay.
They even had a runoff.
Great.
Did you win? That's all I want to know. Did you win? Did you win at
I didn't
pickleball?
run.
Did you pick at the, or win at the?
Did anybody
I
go
know
to
I'm
municipal condemnations?
I did.
And was there something exciting about that?
Well, those are never exciting.
No.
They could get very
Unless
exciting.
you're doing it.
No, actually, it was, the attorney that was speaking on it was very good. I wish I knew more about what condemnation is. I don't think we've done that here. But for example, say somebody wants to install a water line or infrastructure and you want to go through properties to get there. So you could do a municipal condemnation in doing so, but the food for thought from this attorney, which I thought was very valuable, is if there's an alternative route to take without doing that, it may be, in the long run, less expensive to do that alternative route, even though it's not the shortest route, and less time. So, you know, people think, no, we can do this, but, you know, you have to sit back and think about it and really weigh what's important. But I'm sure there's other reasons for condemnation, but that's kind of what he was talking about.
I attended that session. I didn't find it that exciting. It's a sore subject. I would hope we will do those here in town. So, okay. So, anybody to attend the roundtable on homelessness? Engaging youth in municipal government.
I did the roundtable.
Oh, you did the roundtable, I'm sorry.
Yes, I did.
Was it helpful in any way?
Yeah, who else was in there with me? Pepper was, that's who was in there with me. You know, it was interesting. You know, there was, much like how we feel, you know, or every community, you know, well, we don't want a homeless population in our town, but they're there. There's no going around it, really. You know, somebody made the comment in the audience to this panel, and Loveland is one of the people on the panel, and they're doing a lot of things regarding homelessness because it's so prevalent in their area. Well, we just put them on a bus or take them to the town that has services. They said, be very careful about doing that because they catch on that you're doing that, you know, and the buses go the other direction. So, So it's working with your county is what they're saying, working with your county and the surrounding municipalities. You can't ignore it, it's there. So working in conjunction with one another in order to come up with a solution or a plan is the best route to take. Ignoring it is not.
Yeah, because we don't have any services for homeless people, so no place for them to go really here in town. So,
Well, and people talked
Yeah.
about that. I mean, and there was other communities that were the same way.
yeah.
And so it's working with your commissioners from your county, working with other municipalities as to what services they do have, so that we're aware of those. And, you know, if a situation like that comes up, we can provide, you know, the knowledge of where these services are.
Got it. Okay. How about engaging youth in municipal government? We had a couple people that attended that one. What did you think?
We did, it was a City of Brighton that presented on what they've done with internships and some other crisis counseling type stuff, suicide prevention, and it sounded like a lot stemmed from an incident they had, I think, around 2011. And so they started interacting and speaking with their youth a little bit more. And what we felt is we're pretty fortunate and pretty happy about what we provide with the resources that we have comparatively. We have some good youth involvement within our small community and hope to encourage more.
Any other comments? Okay. I attended Creating Resilience Following a Disaster. Good presentation, focused a lot on the Marshall Fire. Really emphasized that homeowners who were underinsured were left with a difficult situation. Brought up some items regarding town codes that we need to talk about. But it really talked also about how the citizens banded together and leadership from the board. I know Trustee Lane was in that. Do you have any comments?
Well, the main thing about it that, well, besides the homes being underinsured, it was just amazing that only a couple people, I believe, lost their lives. Billions of dollars worth of damage in the whole area, and they're still rebuilding homes. They're still working on getting their communities whole again. So the more you can do to think ahead, I mean, that's a rough one, but just to plan, just to prepare and plan ahead for any type of natural disaster, type of emergency, has to be helpful. I mean, even if those homeowners were told, hey, you need to check into your home mortgage insurance prior to, you know, to any little thing like that, would have saved so much heartache.
Okay. And then after that session, I attended New Approaches to Emergency Alerting and Evacuation of Populations. That was presented by the Fire Chief section. We do have an emergency management person at Front Range Fire and Rescue, so a lot went with what they talked about in evacuating people in pods, and I'm sure that Front Range has this well under control. Trustee Lane, I think you were in there. What did you think of that session?
I'm sorry, I was looking ahead, and which session did you say?
New Approaches to Emergency Alerting and Evacuation of Populations.
Honestly, I can't remember. I don't know where my head was, but I can't remember specifically.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No problem. Anybody attended else that afternoon that they want to comment on? Okay, Friday, there was a couple of sessions. There was wastewater utility emergency exercises. That was really interesting. They took us through a couple of emergency situations that unfortunately did not apply to us since we don't have a processing plant. But they did talk about the necessity to be prepared and, you know, what if your water was contaminated and those types of things. Were you in that one, Trustee Lane?
I was just looking back to the other one. I don't think I was in that one. It wasn't, I'm on my agenda, that's why. Yeah, I switched to the empowering communities, the role of, yeah.
Okay. All right, Friday morning, did anybody else attend anything else?
We did the, sort of right, kind of wrong, let's talk about ethics. I think there were several of us in that one, and just general discussion about what's appropriate as an elected official or not, even as an employee, in terms of what's acceptable behavior in terms of interacting with business and with private sector business, and kind of needing to disclose some of those items.
Well, it sounds like all of us learned something and got something out of some of the sessions. So unfortunately, with it being held in Breckenridge next year, I will not be able to attend. And hopefully they will have some good things for our other board members. Any final comments?
Well, on Friday, I did attend the water and wastewater utility emergency exercises, and I did learn that, well, at most communities, that their wastewater and the utility services, they have, what's the word I'm looking for? They have drills or things they follow that they don't advertise, they don't talk about, because they don't want the bad guys to know what their backup or what they're going to do when they are.
What their emergency plans are.
What their emergency plans are. And that's really good to know, because I know that a lot of people worry about their electricity and their water in case of something bad happening, but most of these utilities have things pretty well planned out. They know what they're going to do when bad things happen. So that made me feel a lot better.
Okay. Any final comments from the board?
I was tired after we were.
So was I. It was a long week, I agree. All right, if there's no further discussion or business to come before the board, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're out.